tomorrow night's debate, and how have debates in the past affected voters? To help answer these questions, I'm joined now from Ottawa by political historian David Mitchell. Good evening. Thanks for being with us.
Nice to be with you.
I want to begin with the headline, the AG report. Do you expect this will dominate the debate tomorrow evening?
Well, coming right on the eve of the debates as a kind of hand grenade thrown into the middle of the election campaign, it can't be ignored. Hopefully it won't dominate the debate because we only have one debate in the English language, one in the French language. We'd like to see a number of issues discussed, but this issue could crystallize the opposition in terms of questioning the government's credibility on financial issues.
How much do debates really matter in this country?
Well, you know, they do count, and we have a great tradition in history in our country of televised leaders' debates during federal elections. Doesn't go back quite as far as the U.S., but much farther back than the United Kingdom, which had its first televised leaders' debate just last year in their last election. Ours go back to Pierre Trudeau in 1968, and over the course of time, these debates have provided an opportunity for voters to comparison shop, to shop amongst the different leaders and see them engaging with each other, not in the craziness of question period in Parliament, but as human beings with each other in close contact. And there have been times where these debates have been decisive.
And I think we have one of those moments we want to roll for you. This is 1984, Mulroney and Turner. Let's listen to this famous exchange for a moment.
You had an option, sir. You could have said, I am not going to do it. This is wrong for Canada, and I am not going to ask Canadians to pay the price. You had an option, sir, to say no, and you chose to say yes to the old attitudes and the old stories of the Liberal Party. That, sir, if I may say respectfully, that is not good enough for Canadians.
I had no option.
Do you think we'll have a moment like that tomorrow night or later this week during the French debates, or have we lost that ability to have that sort of debate and discussion, and instead it's devolved into a bunch of crosstalk and angry people?
Well, keep in mind that moment that you just highlighted was a classic moment in a debate amongst three leaders, and there were only two shown there. The Prime Minister was John Turner. The leader of the opposition was Brian Mulroney. We didn't see the contributions of Ed Broadbent, the leader of the NDP at that time, but that moment was devastating for Liberal Prime Minister John Turner. It was on the issue of patronage appointments that he made following Pierre Trudeau's prime ministership, and Brian Mulroney went for the jugular. And that moment was remembered by so many people and played over and over again in the days following. It's widely considered to have won the election for Brian Mulroney. So what we see now in televised leaders' debates federally are attempts to reach for that kind of a moment. But a lot of rehearsal and practice and preparation goes into trying to insulate any leader from those kinds of attacks. That's the tension that will be palpable tomorrow evening during the debate.
And I have one last question for you on though. Does that tell us then that the incumbent, that the Prime Minister has the toughest time and the most to lose going in because everyone else is toppling on them?
Well, the Prime Minister has to appear to be prime ministerial. He can't show his anger or lose his cool. If he does, he'll lose the debate. But having the other opposition leaders ganging up on him could be to his advantage in the sense that he might seem to be under assault, and that might gain some sympathy from viewers of the debate. So the dynamic here is very important, and it's going to be a really interesting debate tomorrow night, I predict.
We will all be watching. David Mitchell, so glad you were able to join us tonight. Thank you so much. Great talking to you.
You're welcome.